Hey guys, it's another Tuesday, chilly Tuesday for me. All right, with this running, OBS running. Uh, let's see here. I think on Tuesdays I will try to. I realize it's not going to work with me doing the builds and the backups on Sunday because the build takes too long. So do the build on Sunday and the backups on Tuesdays. But also on Tuesdays, I think I plan on just doing a quick run of the build. Just so you guys kind of see things working, I guess. So boot this up. I did find the app for the controller. So in this, sweet, we didn't get online set up yet. We don't have profile set up yet, but we do have settings. You see, you can scroll through the settings here, set them all up, color blindness and all that stuff. It's all going to be on epic quality. Sound. You can hear the sound goes down there. Sure, apply that. You can see controls here. So swim down, swim up, secondary action, stuff like that. Crouch, dodge, dive. I mean, that kind of stuff. Elevation, rotation, sprint. Yeah. Reload is R. Oh. Yeah, these are both the same. Alright. Settings. You can see I just down. Reddit credits. No names yet. My name for now. So what we had set up last time, you can see that there's a start and a load, right? So if I go to load here, I click on new game and I hit delete. Are you sure you want to delete? Oh, you are deleting this. Yes. Right. Hit back. Back. Let's see if we go to solo. Still there. So the delete, I have to double look into the delete. But looks like it's loading up here. Did fix the water-ish so it's more kind of accurate. See, kind of swimming on top of the water there. So that's around the whole map. And then there's the deer and that guy. You might have noticed there was nothing to kind of, when we go to systems here, settings, inputs, there's nothing, I think, to switch actions. There's just primary action, secondary action. Close menu, elevation, rotation. He didn't kind of set anything to switch through the available weapons. Close dial, the dial. So there's no way to switch to my axe, pickaxe, gun, or sword right now on the controller. Again, we could adjust the recoil and stuff as is, but we can still just on controller, you know what I mean, equip certain weapons that we want to use. Obviously, I would like lower the deer health, I'm guessing. Such a bad shot. The gamepad. That person's dead. Alright. But yeah. So, it's pretty much all we got here. As you can see, it actually runs way more smoother built right now. There's certain things, like, I'm pretty sure I just gotta double set some of the mappings. Pretty sure that it says that left trigger, like left stick is to crouch. I mean to sprint, but clearly it's to crouching. Dodge is correct though. So some of the keybinds are definitely not correct. So, but I know I didn't get the latest version. We're starting to set up some sort of like camp here on the beach. Gotta set some washrooms up here. Another campsite here. Some trailers. But yeah. So it's coming along. And that was just something I just wanted to set up. And obviously we can quit the game. So, like I said, oh yeah, it's upset. It's upset because we're doing so. This time, even though I did notice that, I think because I definitely said that we'd start doing the multiplayer. Kind of maybe want to look into that. We'll do that because this is. This time around, I definitely, we hit the delete button there and nothing happened. And I could definitely go into the delete file in the single player and try to see what's going on. We'll still open the single player kind of widget up because we'll use some of its stuff to make the multiplayer widget. There's the design. We got the multiplayer. We'll open the single player. And we'll open the solo load for now. Yeah, when we hit delete, nothing is happening. Are you sure you want to delete? So we hit confirm, and on confirm. Oh, right, that's a big thing. So we don't have this guy anymore. We do have it. All children's of the box. We're not doing this method here. We're looking through all the children of the box. We're just getting the current save that is selected. Slot name. And then we're also just doing like the same thing here where we are deleting it. So this game saves. I think the idea behind that is that this would hold a local copy of all the save games instead of just referencing the instance every single time. It may be, but this wouldn't have the update. The instance would have the update. You would do whatever local stuff you're doing, and maybe on exit you would update the local. You do the one pass, updating the game instance there. But again, a lot of this is menu stuff right now, so even if it's a little bit heavier, I don't think it super matters. But we will find more efficient ways and do that. But yeah. So we want to click the online button and we want to open this. So let's see what happens in our design. So in our design, we will kind of move this over here. I do want to rename this play, which is the active widget. No, setting the variable, the active widget. I do want to switch this to single player, just so we understand better what that is, and that will fix up all redirectors for that. You have options. I want to switch options to settings. Just one of the things that I believe it's more settings. Credits is still credits, that's fine. We'll have to have one of these created, so we'll duplicate single player for multiplayer. And can we reorg? We can reorg. That just looks a little bit cleaner. And I don't want to create profile yet because we don't really have a profile menu, but we'll need one more for our profile page. And so when solo button is clicked, we are going to activate this, whatever is passed down from here. So if we click on the design, the widget switcher, no, it should be the design widget, I believe. Yeah. Here we go. So you see, for single player, we have the single player widget. For multiplayer, we're going to select the multiplayer widget, and then for settings, we have the settings widget, and for credits, we have the credit widget. And we're just using the default widget for now for settings, but we will need our own settings because we will have our own game options. And then for parent, we just again have our own parent. So that's how we're kind of setting it up there. And that's how the overview is going, and that's where that's selected. So that's where that's getting filled out, sorry. This most likely could definitely be tightened up and try to be more leveled. So 3 lines is probably good. And we'll bring that down like that. Gives us space to kind of open up that a little bit too. That being said, then we'll bring that here. 4 lines. Should we go 4 lines? That would be 4 lines. It's not bad actually. And we only need 3. We could do that anyway. There we go. Kind of Makes that. And so when we click on base button multiplayer, so we go back up here, we have our site online, and this should have a click function pretty much. We go all the way down here. Now it's alone based on clicked. And now, as you can see, the buttons are working with more than just click. Like the controller was also working. They just call it click. We'll need this guy here for sure, and we'll need these guys here. So when the button is clicked, we'll be getting the parent switcher. We'll be switching to the multiplayer widget, whatever was assigned as the multiplayer widget. Link that up there. Then we want to deactivate the parent widget. And because it's all the same thing, and nothing's happening afterwards, the settings just do their settings thing and it deactivates, and it's not doing a bunch of stuff after, and the credits does the credits thing, and then it does not doing a bunch of stuff after. He just went to the same thing, but for see here, we're doing the stand-up thing, and we're doing some other actions upon the selection. There we go. So we do want player go out camera actor, we'll call it. We'll compile, we'll save. And we'll just double click echo here to teleport to her. Then we have this camera here, and it is, if we click on this and search for tag, this is the player camera. We're going to switch it to the go out camera. Save the level here. So when we do the multiplayer thing or we do the single player thing, we want to look like we're heading out of the door. We want to use the go out camera. And when we go to profile, we want to use the player camera, and that's why I wanted to rename it, because the other camera is called play, I think, and that camera is called player, so I didn't want to click on this pick camera. And whoa, so we definitely want it more like over here. And at this rate, we might want to actually add a roof to the level. Oh, that's because this has, so this is play, and we will call this player camera. This will call player, and we'll remove this tag, so then we have this here. So 0. Oh, you can still kind of see the roof. So -10, and we might want to kind of set it like that and move it up and down and in. And we'll make these guys switch spots actually. Because I feel like she was more centered on the screen. I kind of want to get this guy in there. So now we still might not need a roof though. There we go. Click on this, move him over a bit. There we go. He's kind of centered now. We'll have our menu here to the left, so that's fine. So it doesn't need to be totally centered actually, because we will have our menu there. Alright, we don't want to remove our Echo character, because there's still some menu options that use her. And like we had done with the previous migration, we might want to have a way so if people are going in and out, they can kind of go to the title screen or something, and so all this stuff's not loaded, taking up a crazy amount of frame rate, overheating people's computers or something. Have like a still screen in the background or something. Alright, so this camera is called the player camera, this is called the go out camera, and this would be the tag home camera, which is fine. Yeah, so I feel like we can do something like that. BP main menu character, stand up. This is where she kind of stands up. And just out of curiosity, we will open our main menu character. Go to the event graph. The event graph, we have our main thing which loads our character on event load. She has this, or he has this on begin play, and he has this animation. Control C. So since this is happening on begin play, I'm going to take all of this actually, all of this, and I'm going to right click and collapse this to a function called on character load data. On load character, data. That way I could just easily move this and put begin play right where it's going to be. So we do want to call the parents begin play though. That is important. So we're going to look at this main character. Why don't we have details? She is using this, so we will check that out. Hmm. Get skeletal mesh, which is this mesh. Get anim instance. Cast animation instance to animate breaking character. Copy. Paste. Like I said, this is a little heavy. It shouldn't be too bad. There we go. So that compiles. Because this character is not the same either. So it is Quinn. It's the actual mesh, but if we go to viewport, it's Quinn. Echo. I see. He's just using a real-time target. Interesting. Let's see if my guy... Sorry about this, guys. I know we will be getting to the multiplayer thing. ABM main. Wait, I should. Yeah. Main menu character. So let's just get this here. I do want to call our parents. One, two, three. Let me see. And event graph, he does nothing here because it's all just set up in the other character. And event graph, sit down and nothing important. Okay. Put these here. Control C. Control V. So we want to make sure we're loading whatever kind of outfits we're wearing. That's important. Gotta look good. Then we want to get our stand up, get our sit down, or the opposite of that. And we want to just line these up with that. File save. Copy. We want to make sure this is still working. And paste. So I believe this should be like hooked up somewhere, like here. Music. I believe that should be set up something like that. Construct. Character is sitting, but I don't know why. I guess it's just default in the animation already somewhere. Apparently my video memory is maxing out again. If that's the case, we have all this stuff here. Shouldn't our guy be sitting? Visibility should be already good to go. But we do want to fix our new method here. Make sure it's all kind of proper. And everything else is looking good. Alright. So, on character load looks good. Close that so our event graph, keeping things nice and neat. Let's check out our viewport. And we got our guy sitting down. Oh, look at those eyes. He's just glaring, eh? But of course, I would be moving this down to the profile section later. So we'd move this down here. I just want to have this guy all tested out. Um, so, now that we do have a character with the same thing, we want to kind of switch it to menu character. Pile. See? Stand up. And we would get rid of this. And we'll just attach this. It is cold in my house right now. Alright. So we will try to delete this. Oh. We could delete this guy maybe, and we'll look for our menu character, finding home, characters, menu character, and we'll place him here. We need to see that he's working. And we want to rotate him 90 degrees for now. So let me just see that he's working. There we go. With that set up, now when we hit play, we will open our multiplayer menu and go there. Now we gotta look at our, this should be done for the most part, done for the most part, done for the most part, and done for the most part. Now we are looking at what this looks like, and so we have load, browse, because you normally want to load the multiplayer game that's there, or kind of like resume in a sense, continue. So I might have continue as well. Continue. So first, I think I want to see if we can continue. I think that's the main primary. Continue. And then if I can't continue, I might want to load, and then I'd want to host. For lobby mode, I think the last thing I would want to do is browse for a random game. That's just me, could be other people, but that's how I would see it. Single player, we have start, continue, which we have. So load continue, which we have, and then we'd have host, pretty much. So yeah, it's about the same. Okay. Do we have this? We do still have this on this guy here. Okay. We have handle the back handler from the main. We click on multiplayer, handle back handler. Okay, good. So that's going to allow us to back out. It's going to give us the back button. Are we dealing with our back button on activable widget? Close this here. Override on back handler. We're going to want to do something like this. Why is it false? Wonder if any of the other methods he's using overrides the back handler. Override and blueprint implementation to provide custom behavior when receiving back handle action. Only call if a native code in base class hasn't handled it in native. Anyway, so we will override on back. On handler. There we go. Do nothing, confirm. I guess I just created this common animation widget switcher type and thing. Why did that actually work? This should have complained. Oh, because it's not attached. Okay. See? That does work. Why are you saying you're not real? You're not real, boy. It doesn't matter, because I would need to do that. So, we do want to set what widget is the top widget, which is the bottom widget. We do want to hook that up for now. We want to go back to our main menu, and if we click on our multiplayer now, we should have these guys here. Single player. See, we have default top and bottom. And we do not have that. So our single player guys, instance editable. I think that's all we have to do. Just because we can't see these guys, we want to be able to edit these guys, so we'll save that now. And we'll try that again. So we're going to look at this menu switcher and main design. So we'll do top switcher will be menu switcher, and it will be the main design. Parent set variables, but that's where that really should be actually. So I think I'm going to take these and move them in here. And I also want to try to switch this to the formatting that I prefer. For variables, I do not like having spaces in variables or lower cases for starting words. And I think I spoke about this before, but the actual engine will already auto understand that it's a variable and that you do not want to have spaces on your variables, so it will auto add the spaces where they need to be anyway. Load settings. Oh, this is actually a single player thing. Okay. But yeah, we will do the same with our multiplayer. This belongs here, this belongs here, and again, this should be top widget switcher, and this should be activate this widget when going back. File save. So it looks like we're going to need the game instance for that next. So if we go look at this, see the spaces are here even though we removed the spaces. Now we click here and click here, the spaces are here even though we removed the spaces, and we have that. It's all nicely set up in the parent widgets to set. Okie dokie. Now starting with that back widget, because it's easy to forget because it's a method we don't really touch, we want to start setting some stuff here. So we need to go into our game instance file and our save and load content, and we have, is it settings? No, last single player. It's interfaces, save load, get last single player save game is an interface. So we're actually going to need our interface. So if we go to interfaces, game instance interface, save load, get last player interface. Can we duplicate, copy? What happens? Yeah. Get multiplayer game saves. Oh. duplicate, get last multiplayer game save. Get last single player, get last multiplayer, load game slot, save game slot. Like I said, for the transition, I think we might, I don't know, I think those ones are getting stuff. But for load, yeah, so we just have to figure out where we're needing the different things here. So, yeah, but these are the same. It's just going to be a save file that we need. Our game. So these will be quite similar, I believe. So if we open and we close a lot of these, and so if we open get last single player save, we open get last multiplayer save, we look at the single player, we just copy this, Control C, we're going to just paste this, Control V, take a look at it. So obviously in the game save settings we won't have which is it's a class, game save settings, which is here. We will also need to have online. Save game names. There we go. Control. Won't even. Just gonna bring this out for a second, or I'll throw this over here for a second. And so online get, and we need to remove item, and then we'll get the save name, we'll add it there, and then we'll insert we'll put that there. Go, and then we will save settings. There you go, and settings will save all these current variables. And so here we will get online. Get online save names, length, get true, we're gonna load from slot. If false, whoa, where did that last single player save go? Is that this one? Oh, that was this thing here. We'll close that actually. Yeah, that just goes there. We just set it to blank. And if it fails, we set it to blank. Go, just like that. Since we accidentally already created this, might as well look at this guy here as well when we're at it. So we'll close this, open up the multiplayer, and open up the single player, and we are just giving that file. So as finding home, get that name out. So settings, as finding home, get online, save names, and we put that out. So yeah, now those are pretty much the same. So we could close these for now. If we go back to our multiplayer and our single player, we get last single player save, and this is a load character function we do not have, so we'll try to get this load character function. So we'll copy this, load character settings, we'll go over here and we'll paste this function in, load character settings, and yeah, so we're getting the player data. So for the multiplayer character, we're going to need to create all of these guys here. So we'll just double check our single player stuff. So is female, we can copy local variables, paste is female, that covers that. Then we have meshes, copy, paste meshes, and then we have our is mesh visible, copy, and we will paste that, and our character reference, copy, and we will paste that. There we go. And so we go back to the back handler. We are going to get last multiplayer save message. We're going to verify that that's actually exists. And So yeah, we'll just double check this here. It just gets the host and loads that character with the host if it is valid. If not, just returns. Okay, so valid. Oh, sorry. If not, that this get host player data. Load. Oh, we gotta grab this. They called it host, but really it's the whoever the main character is. I mean, whoever owns the computer. So it wouldn't be the host of the server. It would be the one that is a local character. If that makes sense. I could put local player data. That's what I should have called it. Oh well. You learn. Local player data. That's what it is. Local player. Because you're the local player. Yeah, local player data, not host player data, but yes. Okay, we did the back handler. Back handler is out of the way. And we could look at these things now. So that's the back handler. We can close that. Load character. Settings. We can close that because that should be the same. That's just calling that reference. Should be the same, so we should close that. Get new player data. Copy. So this is like if we're starting hosting a new game. I think we just need to create a local name. I think it's just a generic. We just have it as a generic name here. Yeah, it's not even filled out. And that we just set up it before. That's already good. So if you're hosting a brand new game, you'd have a brand new character. So you wouldn't have any information. But we use this after we've prompt the character to click whether he's male or female. Okay. So that's that. And now it makes me curious. Get text. I don't even know why this is important. Can I get rid of this? Yes, I can. Do I have a get text here? Yes, I do. Okay. Now we don't have any other methods. All the methods are done. Now we can look into the event graph. On activate, we are checking this stuff here. Roger. So we don't even have an on activate, so we're going to have to start setting some stuff up here. So we'll just copy this for now. Control C, Control V, and again, this is the good thing about kind of having a good naming convention. So you're just, a lot of these things are just going to slide into place here. So it's going to be get last multiplayer save, not single player save. And from here, we can just replace that and replace that because everything's actually the same in a sense. Same type of local player data. And we're getting the multiplayer version of load settings. And we're going to hide the buttons or show the buttons, the load and the continue. Ooh, right. Oh, continue and load side by side. Good, good, good. I was like, there can't be like load or continue host load, because then that would have like a weird gap. No, but it's the two first ones, and if they're not there, they're both gone. It's the other ones. All right. And then we have on continue. We'll grab this here. Control C. Control V. Yeah, we'll go with that. And that's base button clicked continue. So we'll look if we have, that's a base button clicked load, and that's host. So we gotta go to the designer, we gotta click on the continue button, scroll down, and do the clicked. We'll bring this over. And again, I'll probably end up commenting all this stuff later, like you see here and stuff. So we're going to play an animation. We are going to fade to black. We're going to bind to animation finish. Get camera actor play. I think we're actually just going to start here on removing that. Yes. So we'll also remove it from here as well. We'll just take out that assigned camera, new map, and we'll bring that in here. We'll take out the assigned camera. We'll bring that here. There we go. Continue game, but this time it is multiplayer. It is not multiplayer, it is multiplayer. So we want to go back to our game instance to make sure that's working. Game instance file, on continue, on continue. So this is where we are getting last multiplayer game save. And that's going to go in here just the same. Current save game would be this then. Just in case, I will separate these guys still. And this is specifically off that level, so we will move these guys here. And I think there needs to be a little bit of extra space given here. Site is host. Never mind. Yeah. This here. If true, branch. Oh, this is we'd be getting if it's the host. I'll say is client actually. That way, if it's defaults to false, we'll use that. And this is going to change a bunch. That's why we kind of want it here. So we'll change a bunch. Because first, we'll be doing it generically through just the way Epic Games does things. And then we will be doing it the way Steam does it, and then we'll be doing it the way maybe Epic does it at some point. Go somewhere like here. Oh, no, it is game instance. Create session is what we want to do. Create session. Hmm. we will do called create session. Add this to the level transition. Then here we'll do, I'll delete this. We'll do create session. Create session. There we go. We'll go to graph here, and this is on transitions. So we will go to our transitions, create session. And this can't be a method. So we will realize we didn't need to delete everything. Paste here. We'll figure out what we need for this section here. So we might even be able to do this in the menu here. Instead of continue game, we could just create a session or something. But yeah, create session. We need to actually create the session, which needs a controller, public connection, and land. Right? So if we go back to here, we need player controller, we need public, sorry, this is an integer, this is player controller, public connections, and a boolean for LAN. And so this connects here, this connects here, this connects here. So we can delete all of that. We won't be creating any pop-ups or any of this stuff here. this stuff will be saved. So we'd be pulling it from the data. So maybe a name for level. For now. And this would happen on success. And it would listen and do that. So we're going to go back to continue game. We'll do 10. And we'll duplicate this. And we also are going to need the join guy as an example. Server browse. Copy that. This looks like a something you could have in a method, actually. We'll try this one. Game instance. Nope. Has to be done. The event graph. So we will do. Oh no, the game instance is here, so we must have moved it at some point. We'll add, and we call this join session. It will go here. Create session, join session. And just like this here, we will have a join session, and then when we go to here, we paste this all in, we'll see that that this is a blueprint sessions results type. Search result, session to join, get server name, This is the button itself. But it is a session to join. Sorry, session result that we need. A session result. So in this here, we need a session blueprint session result. Join session results. So this guy must be used in server browser. Refresh list. Find sessions. So controller find session results, blueprint session results array, and it's gonna get a single session. Okay. Join session. It says session results. Oh, it looks like we need a player controller as well. Player controller. Player. Need a type player controller. Let's say player controller. And yeah, so session results. We'll get the player controller. We'll get the session results. We'll also just get the I guess that's it. Once you just join a session, it's to just join the session. Alright, so there's nothing else there. Just join session. And on failure, we should really say something. But just because this is such a big thing, we're going to do is valid. We'll do that. Is valid. Well, there definitely is no valid version of that. Just, I guess if it fails, it fails. Alright. But yeah, we should do some sort of failed pop-up. Yeah, thought so. So yeah, I could copy this guy, and in the game instance, failed to join failed to join game. We do need to add it to viewports. Acknowledge or something. On success, it just won't say anything. Just join the game, which will load. Our loading screens will pop up, which will be fine. So we don't need the level name because they'll just join the session, whatever the session result is, and they'll already have a level and everything in it. So get player controller for now. Do we get these things from the thing? So that's something like our continue will look like. Again, it will need some updates as time goes on and we get Steam stuff, and there'll be way more options with Steam than there is with just the base, because we just have public, but like later on you'll have public, private, blah, 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 a bunch of different things. So this needs updating because it's using the same kind of continue and stuff. Continue game is multiplayer game. Yep. Compile and save. Cause yeah, it's using the continue, and we are adjusting the continue, so it will ask us to save and compile and stuff. All right, so load. Again, should be kind of similar to the single player load, just like that. So what we'll do is we'll go to this guy here. We'll find him, and we will duplicate him and do online load widget blueprint, and it will have all the files, and you can load and delete them. It's the same. We will rename this to online, and this to online. And we'll go over here. Whoa, why's that up there? That must be like the single player then, because we just copied that. So I must have forgot about this, threw it away, and forgot all about it. Bring that back down. Our continue is working right now. Oh, so it's just this, like the slide in, slide out animations. We could just throw this here for now, and we could bring this up actually, like here. And so we will go into our online, which again, so we'll look at this current save button. We are actually just blanking out. We're making sure we don't have a current save, but in this time we are get multiplayer game saves. See, and it works out because we've already set that up. Thinking in the future. Click, click. And clear children, load and save buttons are the same. Get last save slot from here, from using that guy. Getting save buttons, save button should be the same, I believe. There shouldn't be any changes. It should be selectable. this is just the slide animations, which again we could just put here for now. So when this thing slides at another screen, and then we could bring this up. And when the current save button is clicked, we're just going to load that game. Except we are loading multiplayer. So load game in the game instance. Let's just check that. I think it's going to be kind of similar to this guy here. Control C. So load game. Yeah, check if he is the client. By default, it's not going to be the client. It's going to be the host who's trying to load the game. And if he is the client, we got to get this from the save slot. So that's going to be a part of the save slot from the save slot name. We're going to have a join session results, public connections, and land. We can probably do that right now, just so it is done. So we go back to save system, we go to our game mode save data. We are going to add is host, are you saving? Yeah, it should be saved. Is host blueprint session result join session. We'll add player controller of type player controller. Why did I do this? Controller. Add public connections, which is an integer, and LAN. Oh, Boolean. LAN. There we go. And so we go back to here. And we player controller and I want to go like here. Join session. And public connections. And LAN. So that's your load in a multiplayer game. If you're client or the host. Something like that. And this is all subject to change. But I want to get some of the defaults in. And then yeah, this has a delete button, kind of the same. Oh, we already have the delete button. So, and again, it's just getting slot names, so it's pretty generic. I'm just gonna remove it. And so part of here, just like we have solo load, we're going to need online load added. And we'll just put that up above this here. I do not know why this is bolded, but we do need back handlers for this. We do need widget, and we do need online widget movement. Online load? No, we need multiplayer. Yeah, we need to go back to the multiplayer if they hit back. So then pretty much load. No, our load is going to be like this one here. Pretty boring and generic. Boom. Just pop that menu open and deactivate this one. None of this stuff. None of that fancy stuff over there. Now we're getting into some of the new stuff here. We are going to have to, this is just a regular widget, and let's see how it's designed. So we're gonna have a box that populates, so I think the best class to kind of duplicate would be just like the load class. Single player, and believe it or not, we'll just open up the online load actually. We don't need to open up the online load. Single player, multiplayer. What we need to do would be to duplicate the online load. So we'd duplicate this and we'd call this session browse, or browse sessions widget blueprint, because this is where we would browse the online sessions to click. So yeah, browse session, we'd throw this over here. And we would kind of look at this stuff here. So he does something on construct, he refreshes the server list. So we could do something like that. On activate, we can make a macro. I think it's, was it a macro? No, it was just a thing what we call refresh server list. Normally I would copy, but I feel like ours is going to be different. So, and then refresh server list, go into it. Oh, that's why I thought it was a macro. It's a macro for find sessions. Find sessions. So we are going to go into our browse server sessions, and this is going to call a macro, so called find sessions. And we will have an input and output this time. Normally I end up throwing them over here for things that don't use it, but we will. So grab this. So I believe this is going to have at least an exe, so we'll go here and we will click ex, and we could look at this guy. This is just blank as well. Blank, blank, and blank, blank, blank. Alright. And we're just gonna end up pretty much calling it here soon. So this is where we'll be adding our buttons. Enabling visibility, this is just buttons. This is the kind of core here. We're getting the main player and the max results in the max land. And for each, we're going to be setting our button that we have usually. So we have this here where we're creating buttons. So on activate, we are doing refresh server list instead, and we are going to be practically doing something similar with this save button kind of thing. We're going to be creating another button. Not too sure if it's going to be the save button for sure. I might be, because the save button has time and stuff on it. That could be interesting. We might want like ping or something. Like his button probably has a bunch of stuff. Let's see the design here. So his button has a name, how many players, a ping, and a join button. So we'll have something like that. But I might not do it direct on click. But we'll see. Because now I know we could scroll through them on controller. I might not have all that casting, and just once you select a button, just activate the button. So I might go back and fix some of that stuff, and I might do the same thing with the menu player. So what I'm talking about here is on the single player load, for example, and the multiplayer load, sorry, it would be on both. When we call our buttons and we open our button blueprint, sorry, I will go to that. We have the date, time, and stuff like that. We are setting it selected when the player selects the button, and then on the hover and selected, on selected, which we don't need to print string anymore. It's setting this to the parent widget, and then oh, because we want to be able to delete it, right? So you want to be able to have two different options, whether you're joining it or deleting it. That's why this works. But actually on, yeah, so I'll have another version. I'll have another button for the join in a session. I will duplicate the save button and change it, because yeah, on the we don't need to delete or change. Once somebody clicks or selects, once somebody selects a button, we want them to go right into the we want them to go right into the session. So right here, on selected, we would pass the session info. So in this case, what we're doing is we're passing ourselves, so we can give it the session info. Here we would have, well, like the session info, we just pass it off. But all right, it is after 11 o'clock. Thank you guys so much for coming in and checking out the stream. Things are moving along. We'll hopefully finish up this multiplayer widget next stream, and then we'll do something quick, I believe, with the profile, and then we'll just get into the actual game stuff, and hopefully working and testing the game and developing and doing the fun stuff, you know what I mean? I might quickly go into menus because we do have a weird menu thing right now where so for the in-game menu, make sure that everything's going to the proper places. But other than that, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and you guys have a good one. Ciao.